Today's review is on The Strangers Chapter 3 from 2026. The Strangers. Chapter 3 is the final installment in a horror trilogy that has struggled to find its footing from the start. Directed by Renny Harlin and written by Bryan Bertino, Alan Freedland, and Alan R. Cohen, this film attempts to wrap up the story of Maya, played by Madelaine Petsch, as she faces off against the masked killers who have haunted her. Unfortunately, the movie falls short of delivering a satisfying conclusion, leaving viewers with more questions than answers. The plot centers around Maya's ongoing battle with the killers, Scarecrow, played by Gabriel Basso, and Dollface, played by Ella Brucaleri, after the death of their partner, Pin-Up Girl, played by Emma Horvath. The film opens with a flashback, a technique used throughout the series, which adds little to the narrative and feels more like filler than a meaningful addition. As Maya navigates this nightmare, she is left to fend for herself, with even the local Sheriff Rotter, played by Richard Brake, unable to provide any real assistance. One of the film's major flaws is its attempt to provide backstory for the killers. By delving into their pasts, the movie strips away the mystery that made them frightening in the first place. The randomness of their violence was what made them terrifying, and by explaining their motives, the film loses its edge. The narrative is further bogged down by unnecessary flashbacks and a convoluted plot that fails to engage the audience. The pacing of the film is another issue. Despite its relatively short runtime of 91 minutes, The Strangers Chapter 3 feels much longer due to its sluggish pace and repetitive scenes. The movie struggles to maintain tension, and the few moments of genuine suspense are overshadowed by predictable and uninspired storytelling. Madelaine Petsch's performance as Maya is one of the few redeeming qualities of the film. Despite the weak script and direction, she manages to convey a sense of desperation and determination that adds depth to her character. However, her efforts are undermined by the film's lack of coherent direction and character development. The film's attempt to tie up loose ends is clumsy at best. The revelation of the sheriff's connection to the killers is handled poorly, and the final confrontation lacks the impact needed to leave a lasting impression. The movie ends with a whimper rather than a bang, leaving viewers unsatisfied and questioning the necessity of the trilogy as a whole. In summary, The Strangers Chapter 3 is a disappointing end to a series that never quite found its stride. While it attempts to provide closure, it ultimately fails to deliver a compelling or coherent story. The film's lack of originality, combined with its predictable plot and underdeveloped characters, makes it a forgettable entry in the horror genre. For those who have followed the series, this final chapter may offer some sense of completion, but for most viewers, it will likely be a letdown. So, that's my review of The Strangers Chapter 3, and I'm giving it 1.5 stars out of 5 stars. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed what you've heard, please like, subscribe, and it will be great to see you next time.